we're going to talk about fleeting before sex. Uh,
Call his name.
so if you don't know what that is, and I'm just a little nervous because I feel like my aunt said that she watched the show. So
We're all adults.
please
You can
go.
just
Warning.
explain it.
Please go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So basically, fleeting is a I guess it's kind of like a slang term for douching or anal douching for specifically for gay men for cleaning out the anal cavity before you have sex. So that's what that is. Somebody tweeted today something like never fleeted, never painted. I'm not going to explain what painting is. That's something you're going to have to Google by yourself.
No, you actually probably should not. You actually probably should
I
not.
think you have to because it's important for the context of the conversation. So painting is if you have a mistake. if if you get in the anal cavity with your penis or toy, but then the things that typically leave the anal cavity leave during the sexual act. You know,
Yes. Well, thank you for that eloquent definition.
Yeah.
So, okay, so here's the question, because a lot of people had reactions to this on both sides. It was, is it necessary to fleet every time?
no.
Okay.
But I will say again, because I saw the two sides of the argument defending it and against it. But some people that were against it, they were saying even if you do just poop or whatever, you still should do a light rinse. Is what kind of was their thing was at least you should do that. Um, I think I still would say no, just because sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes, hmm, not all penises are created equal, so
Oh,
they don't all
well,
require the same amount of preparation.
well, there's that. There's that.
Marcus, what are your thoughts on doing? Do you do it? Well, not do you do it, but maybe I'll ask that question in a minute. I don't know,
Oh
but
no.
is that something that should be done every time? Well, every time before having sex.
Hmm. So I'm going to approach this with this grain of salt, not necessarily my area of expertise. I'll say that, but I will say that from what I have read and what I have me talking with people beforehand, like it's not a necessity. Um, it's a thing where it's just like you got to know you, like you got to know your body and be like, okay, I know how far I have to go. I know if I need to today, or I know if I don't, or whatever, what have you. So necessity, nah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
kind of my thing is it's just very based on the research that I've done for myself. It's like it just seems a little bit unhealthy to do it every time because there are a
Mhm.
lot of medical issues that come into play if you decide to continuously clean that area out. I mean, at
Now,
least
what?
specifically fleeting. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, but that's my thing too, because I've seen that, and so I'm wondering though if that is just from using the solution that's in there, or if it's just from water as well. I've never seen anything to like differentiate between the two.
The article that I went back to the article that I'd read. It seemed, I don't know. I think it might be both. Um, the article is not very clear. I mean, and basically this article went on talking to doctors. Best thing to do is to have a high fiber diet. Use fiber pills if you need to.
Hmm.
Clean it out, and just know that if something happens, then shit happens.
Literally.
you
But yeah, I
know?
think that's the thing too. I thought that was the point of why there's these, fiber pills, the pure all those things directly targeted towards gay men is to like kind of combat the fleeting because it can be bad prolonged usage or whatever else was my understanding. So
Okay, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Now I got a comment from one of my good friends who is all about the medical. So from water as well. it's still removing healthy bacteria that needs to be there. It changes your pH. So,
There you
so
go.
yeah. So you just got to be careful. And I feel like,
Yeah.
if it's you had a special occasion, you know, go for it, but
But I also think too,
not all the
it's
time.
unrealistic to fleet every time anyway. Because what if you're like when you're in a relationship? Think like literally, is that I get that for the most part there's a lack of spontaneity because of how gay men have to have sex. But I don't think there should be a complete lack of spontaneity. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot literally plan out like, okay, so we're gonna have sex like Tuesday night, like 9, you be ready, like, you know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna get it again Friday night, I don't think that's not realistic for most people.
Right.
Right.
So like if it's a hookup or something, then that makes sense because it's like, okay, I'm planning to, do this or whatever, but not, I don't
Yeah,
know.
not every time. And it's just so funny because a lot of people, I just feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, or a lot of people who will automatically judge somebody for saying that they don't do it every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know if they know of all the health issues like constipation and all the other
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, well, I think that comes from folks just frankly just not knowing nothing about sex in general because it goes like across the board. You have I've taught students, full grown college kids who still think that if a woman has sex too many times, that her vagina is gonna be loose. So I think it's just like folks just don't know much about sex anyway, and I think that's what
Mm-hmm.
we don't have sex in, and especially not for us. So folks just
Exactly.
they have this mindset, they have this set up in their mind. Oh, if you don't go clean, if you don't go clean out, shit will happen,
Hmm.
and that's not necessarily the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
I think also too, it is that whole like I know my body thing. I
Mhm.
think a lot of those people are lying. Well, not a lot. I think well, I'll say a lot because a lot doesn't necessarily mean a majority. I think a lot of people, when they say they know their body, they don't. And of course, accidents do and will happen given what is going on.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. So let's just be honest. Like,
Right. And
because
I
if you eating, what I'm saying, all this like crazy stuff, that's not a high fiber diet. Like, so let's not.
Right.
right. Now, I think the last thing that I wanted to bring up was there was a point that somebody had made that if you that having a high fiber diet doesn't clean out the smell or other particles that may be lingering. Um,
Which I
and
think some people said do like a light rinse. I've never
yeah,
heard of that, but okay.
yeah. But they were making the argument for doing it like douching all the time. And, and I just think like that goes into the whole conversation of eating out. so, I mean, it's like,
Eating out at restaurants.
not,
Let me
Yes,
confirm.
it is a restaurant.
that what you meant?
Yes, it is a restaurant, most definitely.
kind of, sort of, I guess we'll go with that. But yeah. So yeah, if somebody's going to put their face in it, then maybe you should do. I don't know. All right, so I think we've talked this to death. Okay, I feel like I need a fleet for my brain after
Oh no.
that.
Right